I gave my deceased son's college fund to his best friend instead of my nephew. I lost my son back in 2019. He was 15, had this heart condition since he was little, and we always knew it was serious, but you always think there's more time, you know? There wasn't. When he was in the hospital those last few months, I basically lived there, sleeping in those awful chairs, eating vending machine food, watching monitors beep all night. And my family? They'd call sometimes. They'd say stuff like, "Let us know if you need anything," but then never actually showed up. Not once did my sister offer to bring us food. Not once did my mom come sit with him so I could go home and shower. Just words. That's all I ever got from them. But there was this kid. His name was Danny. He'd been my son's best friend since they were like 10. When my son got really sick, Danny didn't disappear like everyone else. This kid would take 2 buses after school just to come hang out at the hospital. He'd bring his laptop and they'd watch stupid YouTube videos together. He'd sneak in snacks that weren't allowed. One time he showed up with this whole scrapbook he'd made of all their memories together, and my son laughed for the first time in weeks. Danny would sleep over at our place when my son was home between treatments. He'd help him walk to the bathroom when he was too weak. He'd just sit there and talk to him for hours about normal stuff. Video games, school drama, whatever. Kept him feeling like a regular kid instead of a sick one. After my son passed, most people stopped calling after a month or 2. That's just how it goes, I guess. But Danny? He kept showing up. Every few weeks, this kid would just appear at my door. Sometimes he'd bring little things he made. A drawing, a photo he found. Once he made this wooden box with my son's initials carved into it. Said he learned woodworking just to make it. We'd sit on the porch and just talk. About my son. About random stuff. Sometimes we'd both just cry, and that was okay too. This kid was processing his grief same as me, and honestly, having him around helped more than any of my family ever did. So here's the thing. Back when my son was still alive, I started putting money into a college fund for him. Not a ton, but whatever I could save. It gave him something to look forward to. We talk about what he wanted to study, what kind of dorm room he wanted, stupid stuff like that. It kept him hopeful. After he died, I just left the money sitting there. Didn't know what to do with it. Last week I was at my mom's house for dinner. My sister was there with her husband and my nephew, who's like 17 now. And out of nowhere, my sister goes, "So what are you gonna do with that college fund money?" I didn't really want to talk about it, but she kept pushing, so I told her the truth. I said I was planning to give it to Danny for his college. She just stared at me. Who? Danny, my son's best friend. Wait, that kid who used to come around? Yeah, that kid. My sister's whole face changed. You're giving family money to some random kid? I told her Danny wasn't random. He was the closest person to my son besides me. Then my mom jumped in. "Honey, think about this. Your nephew is right here. He's family. He needs help with college too." My sister nodded all fast. "Exactly. I can't afford his tuition on my own. And you're just gonna hand it over to someone who isn't even related to us?" I looked at my nephew. He was just sitting there looking uncomfortable, not even asking for anything. This wasn't even his idea. I told my sister that my nephew barely knew my son. They saw each other maybe twice a year at holidays. They never hung out. They weren't close. "That doesn't matter," my sister said. "Blood is blood." "Blood didn't show up at the hospital," I said. "Blood didn't help me with anything when I was falling apart." The table got real quiet. My mom tried to smooth it over. "We all have regrets about that time, but this is different. This is about the future." I told them my decision was already made. The money was going to Danny because he earned it. He was there when nobody else was. My sister started getting loud. "You're seriously choosing some stranger over your own family?" "He's not a stranger to me." She pushed her chair back. "This is insane. Mom, tell him he's being ridiculous." My mom just sighed and said I was making a mistake I'd regret. I got up and left.